What is going on, Sabres fans, and welcome to another episode of the Sabres Spotlight podcast, where we shine a light on all things Sabres hockey. Ryan, what's going on?
What's up, dude? I don't know. Life is pretty good right now. I'm taking control of a little, personal things I had going on with health stuff, and I feel really good about that. And the Buffalo Sabres might be an absolute wagon, and that is improving my mental health too. So I'm all good. What's up with you?
The Sabres, yeah, they might be fully back. We're gonna get into them. Nothing new with me. Same old here, just chugging along, just chugging along. I got no updates on my end, but that's okay because I am ready to get right into this pod and get talking some Sabres hockey because they bounced back. They did it. We talked on the last show about how it was a huge week going into last week. They had an all Atlantic week with games against Montreal, two games against Toronto, a game against Detroit mixed in the middle there. And we talked about how important it was going to be for this team to get back on the winning end of things, especially with a couple more games at home and against all your division rivals and starting 0-3 and needing to rebound after that. And they seemingly did it after they go 2-1-1 last week. And just a quick recap before we get into things a little bit more. So they start the week off with a loss 4-2 in Montreal. Then they beat Detroit 4-2 a couple days later. That's the famous Colton Ellis debut, which I'm sure we'll talk a little bit more about here. And then in the Toronto home and home, they go 1-0-1, pushing one game to overtime and then winning the first game of that. So I just want to, before we get into the games a little bit further, some of the discussion points we want to talk about, I want you just to kind of give me your overall thoughts on the week last week and where they currently are, sitting at 4-4-1.
Well, last week it was so important to have that high of the Ottawa game to kind of get the guys back on track and be like, okay, we did start 0-3, but this is our potential here. Like we can play, we can have fun games, we can create offense, all that kind of thing. And then, I remember us talking last week about this week and how it was a big week, and it would have been really, really nice to go 3-1 this week. That would have been
They were
obviously
close.
ideal, and they almost did it, but they couldn't close it out against Toronto that second time. But honestly, I'm not even that upset about it because I thought they played well enough in that third period to close it out. So what this week has kind of shown me is that we're not even full strength, and this might be a decent team. Like we might be good. Power play looks okay, way better than the first three games of the season. They're
Way
not
better.
doing
Yeah.
uh, they're not doing the same umbrella pass it back and forth between Darlene and Tage thing that they were doing, for the last couple of years. And the penalty kill is still it's dipped down from 95%, but I mean that was obviously unsustainable. But so special teams and
Still
power
real good.
play, I'm happy right now. I'm happy with what they did this week, and hopefully they can build on it.
Yeah, it was good to dig themselves out of that hole. I think the one thing that is exciting for me, and it was kind of interesting because the Bills, they just played, but they were out for a couple weeks. So for a couple weeks,
Huge
like
point you're about to make.
all we had
This hits me too.
was all we had was Sabres hockey, and that's kind of like all people were talking about and like excited about. And to their credit, they kind of capitalized on that because they were playing good hockey. And the one thing I appreciated about the games last week and where I see this team heading is that we got on here last week and we talked about how they had a couple wins, and you have the big blowout win against Ottawa, and you just wonder, like, okay, they rebounded a little bit, they got a couple wins, but is this sustainable really for the whole season? They're not really playing with like a bunch of gel yet, and it doesn't seem like it's just clicking. And then last week, I felt like every single game I watched, I knew what I was going to get on the ice. Like there seems to be a good plan with how they want to play every single game, and you can see that. And I'm watching these games knowing what to expect, and now I can kind of tell when things are deviating from the plan. Like you can tell that Lindy has this team kind of playing the style he wanted them to play. And to his credit, like that takes some time to install, especially when he just came in last year and is learning all these players and things. And I think you're starting to see that style of play a little bit more, where it's more of let's not try and be fancy through the neutral zone. We're just going to try and we're going to clear it out of our zone when it's in our zone to clear the danger. And then when we're going through the neutral zone, if we can create off the rush, we will. Those chances will come as they come. But other than that, we're going to try and dump it in and just retrieve the puck and spend more time in there and then our end. And it's consistent and it's working. And I think that's a formula for success going forward. I don't know if you're seeing similar types of things or not.
Yeah, I definitely am. I mean, I'm kind of seeing the style of the team is totally different than in years past. Like, doesn't it feel like they're more of a team this year? Like a
Oh,
real team?
absolutely. Well, you see that with how they're. It's not a lot, and again, we weren't asking for a lot last year, but it's just when you need to get in a scrum, you're getting in a scrum. Alex Tuck, addressing the whole hit on Bowen Byram the other night. That was, kind of high, kind of hard to tell. Bang bang, play with that, but he addressed it. I mean, Tage has been, getting in there with guys, and Darlene's going to, and even Samuelson, the physicality, like yeah, a lot of that seems to be there this year, and it just kind of makes me wonder, like, what happened at the start of the season, those 3 games to like start like that, because the team that's on the ice now is totally different than the team that started the season.
I agree. It's weird. I mean, maybe they were just like devastated about the Norris injury. I don't know. And like, they're missing a ton of guys still. I mean, Kesselring obviously still hasn't played. Will play tomorrow. They're missing Norris, still missing Greenway, missing Benson because he got hit in the face with a puck. So like they're missing a lot of guys. So I don't want to give them a pass for the first 3 games, but I mean, part of me is like maybe we should because the team, like you said, the team that's been on the ice the last uh week and a half looks like a totally different brand of hockey. A welcomed brand of Sabres hockey.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and I have had so many people in the last couple of weeks like tell me like, oh, I'm enjoying watching Sabres hockey again, and like there's still this skepticism like with anything, like, oh, but I want to see it longer than a few
Yeah.
weeks, but like it's been quite a long time since I've had this many people, and people who aren't like really big hockey fans tell me like, oh, I'm turning on the game, like I'm excited to watch, and
Wow.
that's because of some of that you're seeing, on the ice. So it's starting to look like a little bit more of a team, which is nice.
This I will say it till I've been saying it for years, but this town is not a football town. Like this town is a hockey town through and through. When the Sabres are good, there's nothing like it, and we just haven't seen it for almost 15, 16 years. And once that swagger gets back, look at all these people coming out, like you said, out of the woodwork to say, "Oh, I'm watching the game." Like it's insane how little like breadcrumbs the team has to give the fans for them to be invested again.
Yeah, and it's not just even in the wins. I mean, it's after
Yeah,
losses
right.
too. Like the loss in Montreal was, it's a loss, but people were like, oh, well, the effort was there. It was a good game. It's not like they got run out of the building, and that's a tough place to go in and get a win,
Yep.
in the Bell Center. And then even the loss to Toronto, like there's there's multiple things that went into that. We'll talk about that in a second when we talk about the goaltending. But it was like, oh, they got a point, and they probably deserve to get another point out of that. So it's not like, again, we want wins every single night. We haven't been clamoring for that for the last 14 years. We know that's not a reality, but on the nights that you're not going to win, are you at least still putting through a modest effort and sticking up for your guys and putting it all out there? And it's been there this year. And I think a guy like Doan adds to that, and having a guy like Benson back. And like you said, they're still banged up, at which we'll talk about in a little bit too, but it seems like they're in a good place right now. With that, let's turn over to the goaltending situation, because it played out a little differently last week than we were thinking on the podcast here when we previewed the week. We weren't sure if UPL was going to get any starts at that point in time. We hadn't seen a Colton Ellis start yet. It was really just Lyon through those first 6 games. So this week you get a little bit of everything. Lyon gets a couple games and looks pretty much like himself. good like and solid like he's been all year. And then you get the Colton Ellis game against Detroit, which that game was just awesome. And he stops 29 of 31 shots for a 931 save percentage in his debut. He gets the win at home, his first NHL win, in a building that was pretty loud all night, and it showed his family multiple times, and he got the
Yep.
first star. Just an awesome night for the kid. And then you get the UPL game here, which wasn't supposed to be his game. It was supposed to be Ellis's game, but he woke up with some back soreness, and UPL gets the start. And now all of a sudden, there's a huge conversation to be had around this goaltending position. So there's a lot there. I'll let you start wherever you want to, but let's get into the goalies a little bit here.
Alex Lyon is this team's number one goalie for the foreseeable future. I mean, he even in the starts where he hasn't been like his best, I feel like is still giving us a solid goaltending performance. So right then and there, it's like I feel confident with him in the net,
Hmm.
and I really have to, like you said, you got to give props to Colton Ellis for battling on Wednesday night against Detroit. I didn't even he made some 10 bell saves, like
Made
uh,
some nice saves.
the diving save. I'm not sure who it was, who the shooter was, but he made a diving save across the goal, and then the Sabres went right down the ice and scored. Similar to uh, Lyon making a save against Michelli on Friday night for Toronto,
Much.
and Tuck going down and scoring like literally in the same sequence. Like that was
Yep.
so huge.
Yep.
Like that was a save we weren't getting
He had two
last year. Yeah,
breakout saves in that
yeah,
game as well, and then one save specifically towards the end of the game where I forget who the shooter was too, but it goes side to side, and it looked like the shooter just shot it over the top of the net, but
yep.
Ellis actually got like the back of his like shoulder on it, and then it like I don't know if it grazed a crossbar or just went over the top, but it was one of those games where he deserved the win. He didn't just luck into a win like in his first start. He only got like 18 shots or 15 shots, and there was no high danger chances. Like he made some high danger saves, and he came up with some clutch saves when we need him to. So he earned every little bit of that win.
Yeah, I mean, there was one, like you said, he had a breakaway save. Larkin came in on a breakaway and he saved it, and I think, and I
To
forget
brink
who.
it,
DeBrincat, yeah, you're right. Okay,
yeah,
I'm not remembering, but yeah, those are Detroit's two guys, two scorers. Besides, like
yep.
besides them two and Raymond, and the two of them came down and he stoned them, and it was so cool to see his family in the crowd. Like, do you think I was gonna
They were
ask,
on edge.
dude?
Oh my god,
I don't
that's
know
got to
if
be
that was his
so nerve
brother.
wracking.
I don't know if it was like his mom and his brother sitting in front there, but
I think
like
it was.
because it looked just like him. So I'm
Yeah.
assuming that's his brother. He looked like he was having a panic attack. Like
Oh my
he was
gosh.
going through it. Like that's got to be such a cool feeling for their family. And good on the Sabres for giving the family a suite. Like I'm
Yeah,
assuming
that's
that they
cool.
gave them a suite, and some of them had blank jerseys. So I assume that like the Sabre store was just like, hey, like come grab some merch, and head up to the the suite there. So that's pretty cool on the Sabres to do that for him, and he rewarded his family with a 31 save win or 29 save win out of 31
Hmm.
shots. And dude, that's just it was such a fun game to watch. It was like he even when he would spill a rebound, the guys were there to like clear the crease or clear the puck, and you could just tell that they were like battling so hard. And like it's such a funny game, hockey. It's like if you notice your players are giving 110% effort, I feel like it's so much easier to support them.
And that's a different thing that we're seeing this year too. Like teams in the past, over the last couple of years, would they have given a shit that it was this kid's first start? I mean, the guys were selling out to block shots for him. Like his teammates wanted him to get that win just as much as he did, and it just shows a little bit more of the maybe the buy-in or the team spirit and things like that to really see everyone kind of rallying around him and wanting him to get that first win, and so that was a great win. So then the question here is with I agree fully with you that Lions locked in. He's been a really steadying and calming presence in front of the guys, and he'll get the majority of starts here going forward until something dictates otherwise. But is Colton Ellis the the 1B then, and UP like what do we do with UPL? UPL just got this extension for 4.75 million, but and we could talk about the Toronto game right now, but we could argue that they lost that game on Saturday really because of UPL. I mean, and we tweeted about it from the account, and which the tweet got a lot of love, just basically talking about how it felt so similar to last year many times where the boys played a good game, a good enough game to win, and they get a loss. And I don't want anything to feel like last year.
Yeah, if I'm Lindy Ruff, I don't see how you can give UPL the crease with any confidence anytime soon. I'm not even saying that like he's never going to see the net again, like trade him. Like, I mean, I like I said before, I'd welcome a UPL trade as well. But I mean, he did have some great moments in a Sabres uniform. So I'm not saying this is the end of UPL, but I don't think with the way Lyon is going and the way Ellis's first start went, that you can kind of shove him in the crease and expect him to perform, especially when it feels like the team plays more confident, behind Lyon or in front of Lyon and in front of Ellis for his first game, for example. Like I don't know, it doesn't it feel different as a fan when or at least you think you're going to get at least decent goaltending.
Oh, absolutely does. It absolutely does. I was scared that entire game on Saturday. Like watching that game on Saturday, it felt like a game from last year where I just was assuming something was going to go wrong. And then when Dakota Joshua put in that third goal, again, it was just kind of it wasn't even like a fluke goal. Like a UPL should have stopped that third
Yeah,
goal. Like
it
he
was a bad
and
goal.
yeah, and he said as much. And maybe that's just from not having time on task this season. But I mean, the guy's been around long enough. Like
Right.
I get it. So it makes a huge difference having that steadying president and or that steadying present and presence in net and yeah, yeah.
Learn English. Let's go get it out, bud.
and then and you get that when you watch Lion in net, and you felt good about even having Ellis in net. So I don't know what's going to happen here with UPL. Like you said, the goaltending position is strange. He played really good a year and a half ago, but we're pretty much a year and a half ago removed from good UPL. He got that deal, and then last year he was up and down, and he's proven in the fact that you've seen him do it before. So who knows if something happens with Lyon and he goes down to injury, like you do have a guy there who's proven to do it. You don't necessarily want to carry three goalies, but my concern is okay, if you do something with UPL and then, Lyon gets hurt and is going to be out long term, well, then you're stuck with what? Ellis, and you'd have to call up Levi, and
Yeah.
then that's your situation. And so I don't know. They're going to have to kind of figure out where to go with things, and you're going to have to get a few more starts from Ellis to see what you maybe have with him. But I think you just kind of have to carry the three for now, and then see what happens as the games go. But who knows when UPL is going to get another game? Personally, I don't want to see that for a while.
And I'm taking a look at the schedule here. So we play, this week we got tomorrow Tuesday against um, Columbus, and then we're
Yeah,
pretty much Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday this week, and then Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday again, and then our
yep,
next back to back isn't until November 12th and 13th against Utah and Colorado. So like I don't see a world where the team doesn't go like Lion for the majority, Ellis a starter too, and then where do you even put UPL in? Like there's no spot for him to even get the crease. So and Lindy Ruff has always been like traditionally like I'm going to play the hot goalie kind of coach.
yeah,
So, with the performance that UP had on Saturday, like I know it was his first night out, but I don't see how he can instill any confidence. So I really do think that the schedule isn't really set up for them to um give him a game here and there. So and I do like that they're carrying all three because you can't lose Colton Ellis. If you put Colton Ellis on waivers, the Blues have first priority and they are 100% going to claim him because he came from there, like he was released before the season. So
yeah.
I don't know, man. I like the roster. There's so many guys on IR still that they can hold the three goalies without really needing to make any other moves. So I'm good. I'm good with holding three for now.
Yeah, plus we've seen UPL struggle with pressure before, where like when Levi got called up and UPL was playing bad, like Levi hasn't or UPL hasn't always been excellent when there's been competition. He's always kind of excelled when he's clearly the guy. And now you have really two guys that are kind of in position to take starts from him. And there's, the most competition that the Sabres have had at the goaltending position in a while right now. And so I don't know how he's going to handle that. Yeah, we can put a pin in this for now and move on to some of the other things. But it will be interesting to see what happens. But as long as Lion King keeps doing his work, then we'll be fine going forward. So let's go into the forward group here.
Okay.
I kind of have this broken down by position. I have some names here to kind of discuss and talk about, but is there anything specific you want to start with at the forward position?
We got to start with the first name on your list.
I feel like that's the big change from last
Yep.
week because and Jack Quinn is the name here, and I think it's good to talk about him because there's a big discussion to be had around whether he's back or not. It looks good, and I'll let you start. I have my thoughts, but what are your reactions to Quinn over these last few games?
He just looks more dynamic, like faster. He had a
Stronger.
he had a breakaway attempt against Toronto where he chipped the puck past the defender on the right side and like hit the speed burst and went in alone on goal. Didn't score, but it was like whoa, like I didn't know he still had that burst in him, like with all the leg injuries he's had. And I feel like he's getting the puck to the danger areas like a lot more. Like
Mm-hmm.
he's not playing perimeter like whatsoever. He is doing everything possible to put the puck in the middle of the ice, and he's being rewarded for it, man. Like it's really, really good to see. I'm really happy with where his game is at right now. I mean, he's still, has his warts here and there, makes dumb plays, but he's not a perfect player. But he's playing really well, and it's like exactly what we need out of him right now.
Yeah, he's a big piece to the puzzle this year. Until this last week? Because I think it's fair to say he's played like 3 or 4 strong games in a row. I can't tell you the last time that was the case.
Yeah, I mean,
That he's,
he played decent last year, but it wasn't like anything special. Like it was a lot of like he's
but it
kind of
was
getting
glimpses.
caved
It
in.
wasn't
Yeah,
stretches.
yeah. Like his line would get caved in, but he would like get a goal or an assist. Like it wasn't anything sustainable at all.
Yeah, that's
This,
what's different right now is he's
he
stacking
looks
these
yeah
good games. Yeah,
yeah he
and
looks
and
back as fuck. I think honestly, he looks incredible.
the difference to me is what you started off saying there is the burst and the
Yeah.
dynamic skating. I have not seen him battling this hard for pucks in a long time. For from puck retrievals to, like you said, kind of taking the puck to the hard areas of the ice, getting involved a little bit more with the physicality end of things. The shot looks great. I mean, the shot looks even better than it did before. I mean, he was kind of like lost on his skates for a while there, but the the balance looks back, the skating looks back, and he's having a lot of success with the playmaking. Like there's an engine there now, and could it have just been conditioning, from all of these injuries that he's had? They weren't insignificant injuries. I mean, you have an Achilles injury, and then you have another break. Those are
Yep.
tough injuries back to back at an area where in skating, obviously, so much comes from your legs and your core and your skates. So it's I don't think it's just as simple as he's healthy now. That it's, but there's a lot more there. And for the Sabres prospects this season, I think it's important because, like you said, if he can be a 20-25 goal guy and chip in with 20-25 assists too, be like a 50-60 point guy this year, that's gonna go a long way for what the Sabres are trying to get done.
Dude, it's so funny. Like he had what 40 something points in his sleep last year. Like you remember? Every time I looked
Well,
at
that's because
Quinn's
the NHL
like
hands out points like candy.
end of year, yeah, he was getting phantom second assists. No, I don't know, man. It's just weird. Like he was so shit last year, and he still had like he still was a 40-point player, and it's like this guy. If he's playing like this, like I don't think 50 points is out of the realm of possibility, and that's like a decent little player you got there. So
Yep.
I'm happy for him. I'm happy for us. I'm happy for my son because his name is Quinn, and I can't have the Quinn on our team be shit. So I'm happy in that aspect. So I don't know. I like where his game's at. Let's hope he keeps it up and it's not like a flash in the pan.
It looks like he's having fun again, which is such
Yeah,
a simple thing to say, but is pretty important, honestly. Like you have to be enjoying what you're doing, and it looks like he's having fun again. So let's hope that continues into this next stretch of games here. Let's move into Tage because Tage was another name last week that again we weren't necessarily criticizing, but it was sloppy. Those first 5 or 6 games, there was a lot of loss of puck control and things, um, and some indecision, maybe trying to do too much and not just like doing the smart play. And that has seemingly been better the last couple games. He gets a couple goals last game in Toronto, and it seems like he's maybe starting to heat up a little bit, just looking a little crisper, looking a little bit
yep.
more decisive with things. And this shot has always been there. You figure this it was just a matter of time with the shot because even those first 5 games when he wasn't scoring, he was still ripping. And but he
Dude, yeah. I
is
gotta be
looking
honest, like
better.
I've never seen a guy play so bad, but like be so reliable with hitting his overs and shots on goal per game. Because like, dude, his overs are like five and a half shots a game, and if you just hit like you could just pound the over on that. He could be playing like dog shit, and he'll still like cash you out for a winning bet. It's insane. So like, yeah, he was getting chances.
It was one of those things in the last game, like especially his, I think it was his second goal where that gave us the lead again, 3-2, where he just kind of
Yep.
like turned around and slid it under the defender, and I think it went 5 hole. Like that's just one of those goals that's just like the gritty hard work where he wasn't getting rewarded for that in the first handful of games, and he did this game. And again, he's one of those players where we've seen it where if he stays aggressive, which he's going to, because that's just him, the floodgates are going to open, and we could be looking at a week here where Tage drops 4 goals in 3 games
Yeah.
this
Right.
week, and
Right.
adds a couple assists, and then before you know, it's like, oh yeah, he's back up to a point a game, like Tage
Right.
always
Yeah. I
does.
mean, he's playing for an Olympic spot. Like
Yeah,
he's playing for a spot on that top line for the Olympics. I mean, for my money, he would be the US's number one right winger right now if he made the team. Because I mean, they made a huge mistake in leaving him off, and I don't see him not playing on the top one of the top two lines if he makes the team. So he's playing for that spot. So you'd like to see him heat up, but I think it's coming. I really think it's like you said, he could have like a 4 or 5 goal week here, and we're like, okay. I think Chad Dinaminis has posted his like I don't want to say like pace, like point pace for everyone this week. And Tage is currently on a 37 goal pace, so he's back, like fully
yeah.
back.
Oh, he's
I'm
back.
I'm I'm excited. I think he can hit 40 goals this year.
There is nothing better than a Tage goal too, because his
I know. Yeah, it hits
sellies,
hard. It hits hard.
his celebrations hit so hard because he gets so pumped up. Like that
Yeah.
dude loves scoring, and like every time he scores, it's just like he just scored his first goal. I love it. It gets me
Yeah.
so hyped too. So, what do you think about that line then? The Tage
With
Benson
Benny,
Kulik line.
it's going. I
It's
think
going. Kulik looks better.
Benson is clearly the straw that like stirs the drink for this entire team. Like he's a special player. I mean,
Yeah, he really is.
he currently has no goals, but he's like racking up assists like it's nothing. And he's like he tilts the ice every single night. He's
Yep.
incredible defensively. He's a rat. He's just everything. that we wanted him to be when he was drafted, and he's still only 20 years old. Like he's an incredible player. And I feel like
Yeah.
Kulik is heating up a little bit too. Like I feel like Kulik has like solidified himself um as an
That tic
everyday
tac
like
toe goal, dude,
yeah, it
was
was nice.
insane. Oh my
He just
god.
he looks like an NHL player to me. Like
Yeah.
finally, like before when he was a prospect in Rochester and he was like just going down the ice and just like not even handling through people, just like taking a shot from the circle and it just goes in and it's like, all right, well, I don't know if that's going to really work on NHL goaltending, but he's not really scoring that way. He's scoring off rebounds, scoring off like nice passes. He's setting up nice passes, so he looks like an NHL player to me. And that line is just really good right now. I'm really happy with where Kulik's game is at. And did speaking of him and scoring, did you think that goal should have been disallowed the other day when Benson ran into the goalie?
I didn't see that really good.
Oh,
So you'd have to
okay.
speak on that a little bit more. But
Well,
that was like the one part of the game I didn't really see.
Benson like went to the net and Stolars came out and poked the puck and Benson just continued skating into him and knocked Stolars out and Cooley kind of scored in like a pretty much an open net and it got allowed initially and then the refs came together and uh waved it off. But I kind of figured it was going to get waved off. It was pretty obvious.
I
Unfortunate
mean,
though.
you can't like make any contact with the goalies
Yeah.
nowadays. So if there was any bit of
Yeah,
suspicion,
it was a
then
lot.
yeah,
I mean, yeah,
then
Solar's
probably.
literally like hungry hippo like dove out and poked it off Benson's stick, and like Benson continued skating into him and kind of it was goalie interference. It was fine, but I kind of wish that they would have just like been like, nope, it's a goal.
That line though, I'm not saying that the whole Lindy, demoting Kulik to line four, worked. But I know Baker Fairburn talked about this on their show about how maybe there was a little bit of element to Kulik feeling like he had, arrived already and just kind of came up and it didn't have that burn, to start the season or just being a young kid and maybe a little naive of just like, oh, things are going to come to me. Like, I'm here now. I'm going to get my points because I'm in the NHL
Yep,
playing every night type of thing. And not realizing that, hey, like you still gotta work for it. Guys that have been in this league for 15 years are still putting the work in on the ice. And so that's probably the next step for him, just to kind of keep working at it and really solidifying who he is. But we need to see the goals because he's here to be a goal scorer. Like, he's another guy the Sabres are going to have to get, some secondary scoring from this year aside from their big guys. And you've seen the shot. I mean, in that tic tac toe goal, like how he sniped the top corner, like he has the shot. We've seen it for many years now between Rochester and up on the big club. And so, yep, I hope he can just kind of keep his momentum and keep rolling on that top line. I think that pretty much sums that up. Let's go into Tuck though. Anything you want to?
um,
Anything specifically that you have thoughts on for him?
I feel like it's coming for him too. Like he's kind of got a couple goals here, but the thing I like the most about him is that he does not have any hesitation when someone gets hit and he's got to address the situation. Like I know he's always doing it, but he's kind of always in the right place at the right time for that.
But he hasn't been hitting this year, so it was kind
No,
of good to see that.
right. It was weird, right? But he it's kind of he's playing so well. Like he is forechecking a little bit more. I don't know what it was the first like week or like week and a half where it was weird, but he kind of is picking up too, and I'm just gotta appreciate him like always being the one to just step in and address a hit or a situation. So props to him, and his game is coming along as well.
I wonder if now that you're into the season a couple weeks, because there was definitely something off that first week,
Yeah,
and I wonder if that was, hey, I wanted to be signed before the season, like I wanted this done, and it's not done, and there was an annoyance there. Maybe I don't know. This is all speculation, but and it might not be. It could have just been a slow start. But to me, those first few games, 3-4 games, and the fact that again he wasn't hitting and the energy seemed to be down a little bit. I just wonder if there was a little bit of like, what, we've been talking about this. I thought this was going to get done before the season, and it didn't. And maybe the numbers weren't matching. Like, that still has to match on both sides. I get that, but maybe that is actually a good thing for the Sabres, because I'm kind of wondering if he wanted it to be finish with before the season's over, and then it didn't, so they put it on the back burner like it was reported, and now he's just like kind of settled into this season and is like, you know what, I am who I am. Like I'm gonna get my contract done one way or another. Now I'm just gonna go out and play with my guys, and we're starting to win, and I like where this is going, type of thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's just me spitballing, I guess.
it's a lot of mental stuff. I mean, like, yeah, it looked like his heart wasn't in it in the first week or so, and now it's like, okay, you're here, you're present. It's all about being present, like in the moment. I feel like with him too, like he's such a smart
Oh, now
guy.
you're speaking my language.
He's such a smart guy. You can tell from like the way he carries himself in like interviews and stuff. He is intelligent. He has been in the league for a while, and I just want to see him get rewarded with a big payday, like so bad, because I think he really deserves it. But it is nice for us too that he's like got his head in the game, a little bit more. Like I'm not even saying that he didn't have his head in the game, I guess, the first week, but you could see how that could like bother you. These guys are human after all.
Yeah. Oh, for sure, for sure. Um, so we can move on from Tuck. There's not much there. I would anticipate he's gonna, continue to play the way he always plays, going forward. I do want to talk a little bit about Noah Ostlund, because with some of the injuries that the Sabres have had, some of these young kids have gotten a call up. We saw Johnson up here for a little bit. He's back down at Rochester. Zach Metza just got sent down, which is why back down to Rochester, which is why we're all kind of speculating that Kesselring will be back tomorrow against Columbus. You've had Noah Ostlund up here. You've had Tyson Kozak up here, Yuri Kulik. So a lot of these young guys are getting run now. Some of them are here to stay. Some are, still trying to prove that they belong. And Ostlund's kind of in between right now. But I've enjoyed watching him. I don't think he's been a liability by any stretch of the imagination. But has he been a difference maker? I don't think so. But to me right now, he looks like a guy who can get whatever 10 to 12 minutes of ice time every night and be a kind of a net neutral. But what have you thought about his game so far?
Yeah, he just looks solid, like you said. Like he's not breaking the game wide open. He's not like costing them. He's just playing his role. And I feel like for a young guy, that's perfectly fine for me. Like especially a guy like you said, he's only getting like 10 to 12 minutes, and I think he played like 8:51 the other day. So it's like he's not getting a ton of time. But I guess we kind of don't need him to right now. Like he is getting a little bit of penalty kill time. Like I've seen him kill penalties a little bit, but he'll probably end up back in Rochester, and I think that's like perfectly fine. I don't think that'll be anytime soon unless they want to swap him maybe with Hellenius to give Hellenius some run because he is lighting up Rochester right now. He looks great.
Yeah.
So, maybe switch between them and see what happens, but I think he's perfectly fine. Like it's not like a detriment. It's not like an exciting like whoa, like Noah Austin is up here like cooking either. So he's still very, very young. So he's got a long career ahead of him.
I wonder what a line with Kozak's out right now on IR, which is a bummer because he's been playing really, really good. But I'd be really interested. I kind of like the way that our first three lines are constructed right now and built
Yeah.
with Benson, Kulik, Tage on one. You got Don McLeod, Tuck on two, and then you got Zucker, Oslin, Quinn on line three as of right now. But again, guys are going to come back, so these things might change. But when Norris comes back and everybody kind of maybe bumps down a notch, you'd be looking at Osland, on that fourth line potentially.
Yeah, if that's
And
the case, I would just send him back, honestly.
I don't know though, because like I'm really intrigued by an Oslin and Kozak line on
Like a
that fourth
yeah,
line,
right.
because if Norris is coming back in a couple months, that's not necessarily the trade deadline, but the trade deadline at that point would be maybe like a month away. And I would be interested in moving a guy like Krebs. Like I would be totally fine moving on from like a Krebs, and then Oslin's now slotting into that fourth line center spot with Kozak and Malenstein. Like I don't know, Oslin, Malenstein, Krebs. I feel like or Oslin, Malenstein and Kozak, I feel like that could be like a nice like little dog line on your fourth for your fourth line. And
Where do you put Greenway then? There's just too many guys.
well, Greenway's interesting because he'd have to probably go on that fourth line too because you'd have Norris up top and then McLeod would move down the line. And then Kulik would obviously
Khalid.
move down the line too. So
It's
you
so
would
hard.
have,
There's a lot of guys on this roster that need to come back still. It's like so intriguing, right?
but that's where things shift because then it's you fast forward a couple months, is someone else out with injury, and
Yep.
there's so many changing parts. Just kind of spitballing of like I like what I've seen from Oslin, and I that ceiling is certainly there, and so I if depending on how this season goes, if he's getting more comfortable in an NHL role as he plays more games and gets more experience, the way that I think his game could synergize with Kozak's game as just like guys that aren't afraid to go to the net and be physical, then I feel like that could work a little bit.
Yeah, I'm looking at Oslin's numbers right now on Natural Stat Trick. He's currently being outchanced 9 to 11 with him on the ice, and high danger chances are 4 for Oslin and 7 against. So it's not like he's getting caved in. Like, he's not really winning his matchups, but he's not also getting like destroyed either. So I
Yeah,
like he's fine, which is I think good for
right.
a young kid coming up in the league and getting his like second real taste in the NHL.
All right, let's go to defensemen here before we wrap up. And I want to get I think we got to give a little love to our two best defensemen right now, Matthias Samuelsson and Connor Timmins.
Dude, Samuelson is playing incredible. Like genuinely, like he looks like awesome. And he's gonna be. He played up with Darlene last game, and I like that. And it's like if he's gonna play like that, like dude, on his
I mean,
one
he could be
goal,
looking at 15 goals.
yeah, that would be fucking crazy. On his one goal, the one snipe he had from like the left circle,
Yeah.
Darlene, uh, I forget how the puck ended up in this situation, but the puck ended up like on the right wall, and Darlene, without even like really hesitating or looking, just like fired a cross ice slap pass right onto Samuelson's stick, and he went Bardowski, and I'm like, holy shit, like that was so sick. And he's defending well. He's physical.
Yeah. It's
He
been
took a
good.
penalty the other night because he was breaking his stick on a guy's back in front of the net, and it's like
Yeah.
that's
He was
exactly what
trying to
you
get
want.
away with it. That was so great. I loved it.
That's what you want to see like out of him. Like so, I'm so happy that he's playing this way. Just gotta hope he stays healthy because this is the Matthias Samuelsson that's worth his 7 year contract.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. He's been playing good. I got to give him credit. The physicality has been there. He's been the thing about like the offense, like whatever, like that's a blip
Yeah.
on the radar. Like he's gonna have one or two more goals the rest of the season. But
Yep.
the defense has been there. The net front presence has been there. Clearing guys out. He hasn't been making, but I've been mostly impressed with his ability to get the puck and go. Like he hasn't been make. There's so many times last year where he'd have the puck in our end and it's a dumb pass,
Yeah. Or he wouldn't
or
make a decision and he would run out of
yep.
time.
Yeah, there was indecision, and again, that could be a little bit of Lindy's system kind of coming together a little bit more here, and guys knowing where they're supposed to be and things. But the breakouts for him have been much better and much cleaner, and so
Dude,
that's a welcome change. Connor
he
Timmins in that aspect
hold
has
on.
been
One
insane.
more thing. Yeah, Timmins has been a steadying presence too. I feel like Power Timmins should stay together. But
Yeah,
one thing more thing on Samuelson. He had I forget what game it was. Maybe Detroit. He had a pass from the left blue line across to Tage, maybe on the right wall. And I literally said to Lexi, I said, wow, what a sick pass by Darlene. And then it was fucking Samuelson. And I'm like, what? Holy shit. Like, it was crazy. So good for him. He just looks awesome. But we can talk about Timmins now because this guy, this guy's like a joker in a deck of cards. I love the way he plays. He's a psycho.
he is a psycho.
This guy will take the puck. He'll skate it out of our own zone. He'll skate it and dangle a guy in front of our own net, but like come up with the puck. He plays defensively well. And it's so funny because like we're talking so highly of him, and I think he currently has like I think his XG is like 45%, so it's not even like he's like playing like unbelievably well like on the stats, but like eye test, he looks incredible.
Oh, eye test looks incredible, man.
I
He's
like
ripping shots too.
yeah, he's fun. Him and Power look fun together.
He
I like
blocks
the pairing.
shots.
I like that pairing.
He
So
puts the body out there.
when we talk about our like the guy that's returning, I don't even know where to put him because I'm intrigued by a lot. I like this decor a lot, and
Well,
there's just we got to give some props to Kevin Adams. I probably said that less than 4 times on this podcast, but dumping Connor Clifton for Connor Timmins,
huge upgrade.
great move, great move.
Yeah.
He's a good hockey player.
Yeah, huge upgrade. Probably, a few years too late, from on Kevin Adams, end of things. But,
Hey, it's
but
never
still,
better late than never, dude.
it is better late than never. But hopefully, it's not enough to save his job. But, but let's go to Kessling right now. We don't have to spend too much time on Timmins, other
Yeah,
than saying again he's an absolute dog, and we got to
I'm
shout him
so
out because
excited.
he's been playing good. So, all right, Kesselring, dude, this is what we've all been waiting for. And the good thing is we play, we got Utah next week. We play Utah next Tuesday. And we got a couple of
Absolute
games against
wagon.
them. Yeah. And they're playing really good. And Paterka's playing good. And that first line is buzzing. One of the best lines in the league right now. Utah's 8-2. But we're going to have them next week. And so it's going to be, Paterka with against Doan and Kesselring and the Sabres, and you want to have him obviously for that matchup, but get him in this week. Let's see what he can start doing and start acclimating him to a few games before you got to, take on Paterka because there's going to be a lot of eyes on that matchup as he comes into town. Actually, a game that I'm going to. I can't wait. But yeah, what are you expecting from Kesselring? It is. I don't think it's been confirmed that he's playing tomorrow in Columbus, but it's
I
good.
think
It
Lindy said
should be this
yes.
week.
Lindy said this afternoon after they sent Metza down or before they sent Metza down. I don't know when the Twitter uh, the admin posted that they sent Metza down, but Lindy's last comments were we're gonna see how he handles practice today, but if he is good on the morning skate, he's like pretty much good to go. And I think that like them signing or sending Metza down like just proves that like they
That's a
think
good
he's good to
sign.
go. So it's super exciting. I don't even know where I want him to play. Like all off season, we're like, all right, this is gonna be the partner for Power, right? Now with the way Power and Timmins are going together,
Oh,
and
dude.
Byram got relegated to third pair minutes with Metza. I wouldn't mind starting Kesselring on the third pair with Byram and kind of just easing him back into it because I mean you can do worse for D partners than Bill and Byram, and the
Yeah,
way
for
Sanderson
sure.
and Darlene is going, I don't really want to split that up right now either.
That's
This is
crazy.
like this is like
This is the thing
this
we
is
talked
the
about though,
best
having this
decor
depth.
we've had in a long time.
Yeah, plus Jacob Bryson's going to be clearing concussion
Yeah,
protocol
perfect.
too, and then
He doesn't want to play. It's perfect.
yeah, he can sit with his popcorn. He'll be good. But that's an interesting point you bring up. Maybe that is the best case scenario, just kind of easing him in, on a line with Byram and giving him, whatever, 15, 16 minutes, on that third line or something, But then the thing is like you got Byram playing, third line minutes then, and we're paying this guy 6.25 million this year. It's like
Tough
if
luck.
that's
Play
I get
better.
yeah, for sure, and Samuelson is getting the promotion because he's playing so good, and it's not even like Byram has been bad. I just think
Right.
that the Power Timmins line is or defense pair is cooking a little bit right now, and they're synergizing well, and then Samuelson is playing great. I mean, out of all these guys, Darlene's playing the worst, but you're not going to be taking Darlene off the top line. It's just you're going to play him as much as possible.
Yeah.
So it's just
Got
an interesting conundrum
Darlene, it's like the best problem that we've had in a while. I think like it's great.
for sure.
Personally, for me, Darlene gets a bit of a pass because of his summer.
Yeah.
The
Oh yeah.
horrible things his wife run through, and I mean,
Yeah.
I think she's still recovering in Sweden. So like, I don't. It would be he's a professional, obviously, but I think for me, like personally, I don't think my heart would be in it if that was what I would be going through.
Yeah.
So,
Lindy
props
brought
to
that
him.
back up, and props to
Yeah,
him because I think I had to remind myself of that, and not get frustrated. I mean, we try and stay level headed anyways, but like it's hard when like you don't you see a lot of people kind of shitting on Dowling, and it's like, man, we gotta just take a step back and remember what he went through in the summer, and
Yeah,
that they're just people.
but I think he'll be fine. I mean, he hasn't had the best
Yeah,
like start to seasons, but even in like seasons where we didn't know what was going on in Dahlia's personal life, he's always been like a slow starter. So like he's the last guy that I'm worried about whatsoever. Like one of these games we'll just see him dominate the puck on a string and have, 2 assists and just play 27 minutes and just be typical Darlene. Like it's coming for sure. I'm not worried about it. But it's just so funny. Like part of me wants to see Darlene and Kesselring play together too, because I think those are two intriguing skill
there's
sets,
so
and
much
like
fun there.
it would be so fun. I don't know. I just like the way this team is put together right now, the defense especially. So we'll see. We'll see. They could go out and play Columbus tomorrow and lose 5-1, and then the party might be a little bit over. But we'll see. We can't. That's something I'm really trying not to do is hang on every single game.
Yeah,
Because last year I was like hanging on every game, and it was just like so unhealthy. I was so burned out by
yep.
like the end, like by the end of the season that like I didn't even want to watch anymore. And I don't want to do that. It's a long season, so I'm gonna be excited for what I'm excited about. And this decor has me really, ruffling my jimmies.
Darlene was just, I mean, he was just Scooby Doo for Halloween. So,
Yeah,
like,
what a
the
beast.
dude he's bringing out the literal dog. And
Yeah,
I feel
wow.
like he's going to
Putting it
be,
that way is crazy. I actually did not even think of that. That's awesome.
he's gonna be ready to go this next game. And I think, speaking of next game, you want to just get into our predictions here
Yeah,
for
let's do it.
next week. All right, so the Sabres, they have 3 games next week. We have Tuesday at Columbus. We got Boston on Thursday. And then we have the Washington Capitals on um, Saturday. And so those are the 3 games next week. So what do you think's gonna happen here? I got our new window open. I got our little chart here. Can you see our chart?
I see it.
All right, there we go. I don't know if it'll let me edit this as I go. We said before we're not the tech guys, but here you go. This is our look ahead.
I think I'm good with a 2-1 week. They gotta like stack these like 2-1, 2-0-1, 3-1 weeks. So I think I'm gonna pick 2-1. I think they're gonna win tomorrow and then maybe have a disappointing game against Boston, but then take one against Washington.
So you're going two and
Two and
one.
one. Yep.
All right. So I'll update our chart here, and I'll put this on our social. So that looks good.
Yep.
You're going win with Columbus, loss against Boston, win against Capitals. See, it seems like a week where they should just go 2-1. Do you know
Pick
what I
three.
mean? Like,
Pick three.
I thought about this earlier because I got a couple people that I work with, and I was hyped because last week no one believed me, and I was telling everyone last week, I'm like, we're gonna go 2-1-1, and my prediction last week was right. That's what we did. We ended up going 2-1-1 during our big Atlantic week. So I'm looking for back to back weeks here of winning. I am very tempted to take 3-0, but I am not going to. I
Okay.
am feeling pretty good about Washington at home, but the Sabres have not been too great this year on the road. I don't even think we have a road win yet. I think we're
We
0-2
don't.
and 1 on
Yep.
the road. One of those games was already Boston. So it's kind of weird that we're playing them again on the road, but that's just the NHL how it works out. I'm actually going to sadly pick us to lose against Columbus. It just kind of, to me, it just kind of feels like a game where everyone's so excited to get Kesselring in this lineup, and the Sabres, like, they coming off a decent week. Everyone's kind of hyped about the
Oh,
team. And
yeah.
sadly, it just kind of feels like a game they'll they might let us down. I hope
It's
we
like
can
too
push it
good to
to
be true,
overtime,
right?
but yeah. And hopefully I'm wrong because this is a new Sabres team, and hopefully they can go 3-0. But you could see what I put up there, so I'll go 2-1 as well. I'll pick a loss against Columbus. I don't think Boston's going to start off 2-0 against us, so I'll pick us to beat them, and then I'll pick up the win against the Capitals there. But either way, we're both saying 2-1 next week. So
I love it. I love it. Let's keep the good times rolling.
all right. So then, as far as this episode goes, I think that'll do it. You have anything else that you want to comment on or
No, I mean
get off
it's
your
rare
chest
that
before we head into this next week?
it's rare that we have a full episode where the vibes are like so unbelievably high, and it's almost Halloween, so they didn't even let us down, before Halloween. So okay, let's before we leave, what candy are you going to take out of your kids' bags the most when they're not looking?
I got to be careful with my choices here because we did our Halloween candy ranking last year, and all
Yeah,
your buddies
yep.
thought I was weird as hell because of my top five list. So, all right, let's see. I gotta say, Kit Kats are usually always like the top go to for
Yep.
me if I see any Kit
Yeah.
Kats in there.
Will Ryan notice that Daddy took her Kit Kats?
No, probably not. They get so much, dude. We had Halloween candy in our house from last year still till like June. It was
Oh
crazy,
my
dude.
God! Holy
Yeah,
fuck!
not even that we got that much, but we just like it just kind of sits in our pantry and we
Yeah,
forget about it and
yeah,
stuff. But
that's
now we
funny.
got the candy dish out there. No, Owen is the candy monster, dude. That dude
Oh,
is
well,
always
look at him.
wanting candy.
He's a
Yeah.
big guy. He's a big guy. So we're taking Quinn trick or treating for the first time with our friends Alexis and Mike and their family. Like we're gonna
Yeah.
drive up there and go like hit up like the Lakeview area and stuff. And
Are they
I'm
giving out full
excited.
candy bars there? Sounds
They
like a nice area, Lakeview.
it's Lakeview. It's Lakeview. So I'm hoping so.
You got to get that full size Fowler's candy bars, man. That's the way to
That'd be
go.
that'd be insane.
You're going to those rich areas for your. I'm just getting fun size over here.
I'll update you on Friday because I'm gonna be up there and we'll be walking around and I'm so excited to carry him up to houses for the
I would
first
not
time.
be excited to carry him. That motherfucker is heavy.
We're bringing the stroller. We're bringing the stroller. But I'm just saying, I'm so excited to just like carry him up to a house and knock on the door and all that stuff. It's our first time out up there, so it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, well, what candy are you taking from him?
Oh, Reese's. I need like if someone gives me a Reese's, I'm eating that shit like in front of him. He doesn't know better.
You gotta harden him up anyways, even if he cries, Mike.
Exactly. Yeah.
You gotta
He
toughen
doesn't,
him up, kid.
he doesn't know yet, so it's all good.
I had today the white chocolate Reese Ghost. Oh, that was so good.
Oh, that sounds good.
The white chocolate Reese's, so good, so good. All right, everyone. Well, I hope everybody has a fun, safe Halloween. Hopefully, the Sabres don't play a Halloween treat or trick on us this week. Hopefully, you get a Halloween treat from the Sabres and a nice 3-0 week. But you know what to do if you don't follow the show. Hit the follow button, subscribe, rate and review. Follow us on our socials. The Twitter's been buzzing a little bit over there lately, so that's good. But follow us on Twitter. That's pretty much the only place that we live nowadays. You can follow Ryan's handle as well. That's in the show notes below. If you have questions for the show, send us an email. All that stuff's down in the notes as well. And as always, stay safe in the Sabrehood, and we will be back next week. See you.
Bye.